Welcome to Crisis in Perception, where we examine the systems shaping our world, one book at a time. And for this explainer, we're using the film Vertigo as a case study to look at something really fascinating: how desire can actually reorganize our perception and even manufacture identity.
All right, so what do we actually mean when we say desire as a system? See, we're not talking about romance here or, just wanting something. Think of it more like an architecture, a kind of blueprint that lays out what you're allowed to see and maybe even more importantly, what you have to ignore. It's like a structural constraint on reality itself.
And the way this system works, well, it's just fascinating. This isn't a case of being blind to the truth or just, having a bad memory. No, it's about actively choosing what to see. Imagine a powerful longing acting like a super specific filter on the world. It highlights anything and everything that fits the picture you want, and anything that doesn't, well, that just gets tossed aside, written off as meaningless noise. So your perception isn't failing, it's becoming incredibly, powerfully selective. And this comparison here, man, it just nails the unique problem we're talking about. You take a film like Memento, right? You've got a character who has certainty without memory. He literally has to build a system from scratch to make up for it. But Vertigo? Oh, Vertigo shows us something way more unsettling. It's about certainty despite memory. The truth isn't just lost because some facts are missing. No, the truth completely collapses because this powerful desire has gotten in there and fundamentally rewired the entire machinery of perception. Okay, but if this system isn't built on facts, then how in the world does it create such a powerful feeling of certainty? Well, the answer lies in two really, really potent tools that just completely bypass the need for proof, and those are repetition and aesthetics. First up, let's talk about repetition. There's this idea that repetition functions as proof. Think about it. When you see the same images, the same places, the same actions over and over again, it creates this kind of hypnotic rhythm, right? And the system basically teaches you that this pattern, this recurrence, must mean something. It feels like destiny. It has to be authentic, even if the whole thing is completely engineered from the start. And the other piece of this puzzle, it's the system's sheer beauty. I mean, think about it. When something is just visually elegant, it's perfectly framed, we're just so much more likely to trust it. It just feels right, doesn't it? And that's exactly how this system works. It rewards what looks correct over what is correct. It's all about that aesthetic completion, creating a reality that's so beautifully put together that it never even occurs to you to ask for proof. So all of this brings us to the real engine of the system: a self-sustaining manufacturing loop. And this is not a one-way street, folks. This is a powerful feedback cycle. It's constantly creating and reinforcing a specific desired identity, and it just gets stronger and more convincing with every single pass. All right, so let's walk through how this loop actually works, step by step. It all kicks off with fixation, an almost obsessive focus that just narrows your perception down to one single perfect image. Okay, so that fixation, it needs fuel. It demands repetition to keep itself going, and that repetition builds a really deep sense of familiarity. Now, that feeling of "I know this," well, that hardens into an unshakable certainty. And that certainty feels like permission, like a mandate, right? It authorizes control. And with that control, a person's entire identity gets reshaped to fit that original image. And here's the real kicker. That brand new reshaped identity, it becomes the ultimate proof. It reinforces that initial fixation and boom, the cycle starts all over again. Only this time, it's even stronger. So, is there a way to visualize this whole dynamic? Like a single, memorable image that captures it all? You know what? A spiral that tightens with each turn, that's the perfect metaphor for this. It's this process of repetition, right? And it totally feels like you're moving forward, like you're making progress. But in reality, you're just circling the exact same core obsession, and with every loop, the grip gets tighter, pulling everything toward one single, seemingly inevitable end. And this right here is why these systems are so incredibly hard to escape. Because when someone tries to introduce facts or, hard evidence, it doesn't land like a moment of clarity. No way. Instead, it feels like you're losing something absolutely precious. This beautiful, perfect world that you have become so deeply invested in, it feels like it's being torn away from you. It's experienced as a really profound, painful loss. So, when you boil it all down, what this case study really shows us is that these systems are so resilient because they don't feel like they're being forced on us from the outside. They feel like our passions, our most intimate preferences. And that's a crucial takeaway. Power is never ever more effective than when it shows up looking just like our own personal desire.
So in the end, Vertigo doesn't really leave us with some simple judgment call about what's real and what's fake. Instead, it leaves us with a much more profound and honestly pretty unsettling question to carry with us. What happens when we learn to love the very systems that are busy reshaping us?
For the full, long-form deep dive into this topic, follow the link in the description. If you enjoy this kind of systems-level analysis, please like, subscribe, and comment with books, films, or topics you'd like us to explore next.